Okay, for the homework problems tonight, they're asking us to do a couple of things. They're saying they want us to, here it says find the sum and the product. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. The easy way is to remember the formula we learned that the sum is negative b over a, and the product is c over a. And once we know that, these problems all become quite simple. We're simply going to look at this and say here the sum is negative 7. B is negative 7. It says the opposite of negative 7. So that's going to be positive 7 over 2. And the product is going to be C over A, which is 6 over 2, which is 3. That's it. We're done with that problem. All these problems should be done in about 30 seconds each. So the sum for this one is the opposite of negative 8, which is positive 8. Over A, which is negative 5. So negative 8/5 would be the answer to that one. And the product is C over A, which is 20 over negative 5, which is negative 4. That's the answer to those problems. Here it gets a little, well, not much trickier. Well, let's do sum first. Okay, sum is negative b, that's negative 11 over 4, and that's done. And then the product is negative 30, c over a. C is negative 30 over a, which is 4. We can reduce that to negative 15 over 2, either way, or negative 7.5, whatever, it's the same number. That's that one. This one gets a little trickier. The sum is going to be negative b over a. B is square root of 7. A is 1. So it's going to be negative square root of 7 over 1, or just negative square root of 7. And then the product is going to be negative c over a, which is negative 4 square root of 2 over 1, or just negative 4 square root of 2. This one's a little trickier. The sum is going to be negative b over b is 4.8. C, it basically means plus 0, so c is 0. So the sum here is going to be negative 4.8 over 6, over negative 6, excuse me, which would turn out to be 0.8. And the product is going to be c, which is 0 over negative 6, or just 0. And the last one here, the sum is going to be negative b. B is negative w. Negative times negative is positive, w over a, which is h. And the product is going to be c, which is negative k over h. And that's it. For those 6 problems, they're done very quickly once you know this formula right here. And we learned it, we kind of memorized it sort of by saying negative BACA, B-A-C-A. Okay, let's look at the next set of problems. These ask for you to do simplify. Basically what we're going to do is FOIL. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times the square root of 7 plus 4 square root of 7. Negative 7 times 4 is negative 4 square root of 7. Square root of 7 times square root of 7 is 7, but it's minus. Negative times a positive is negative, so minus 7. So now when I look at that and say, well, wait a minute now. Plus 4 to 7 minus 4 to 7 cancel out, and I get 16 minus 7, which is 9, and that's the answer I'm looking for there. This one here is similar. We say 3 square root of 2 times 3 square root of 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Square root of 2 times square root of 2, so that's going to be 9 times 2, which is 18. And the next one is these guys multiplied together. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Square root of 2 times 3, so minus 15 square root of 6. And then the inside one is going to be plus 15 square root of 6. And then the last two, these two guys here, is going to be 25, negative 5 times 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. Square root of 3 times square root of 3, so I have 25 times 3, which is 75, and it's negative minus 75. So these guys are going to cancel, and I'm going to end up with 18 minus 75, which equals, what is that going to be? 18 minus 75. 18 minus 75. 18 minus 75, negative 57. Sorry for the delay there. And that's the answer we're looking for that one. This one is a little tricky. We don't have differences squares, or what I'm talking about, excuse me. We don't have conjugates. See, here we have conjugates, 4 plus and 4 minus, so that's why the middle term cancels out. 3 square root of 2 plus 5 square root of 3, and 3 square root of 2 minus, the middle ones cancel out. So let's look at this one here. We got to write this twice. 3 minus the square root of 2 times 3 minus the square root of 2. Do FOIL. 3, let's get a different color here. 3 times 3, that's 9. 3 times negative square root of 2 is minus 3 square root of 2. And then negative square root of 2 times 3 is minus another 3 square root of 2. And this is going to be negative times a negative is positive plus 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. Or square root of 4, but we got 2. So that's going to be 9 minus 6 square root of 2, they don't cancel, plus 2, or 11 minus 6 square root of 2. And that would be your final answer to that one. This one here, we multiply k times k, that's k squared. K times negative 3i is negative 3ki. And these two combine to be plus 3ki. And then these last two become net minus 9i squared. Now, when we look at this, we look at the two middle terms are going to cancel out. We can see that. So this is going to cancel with that, negative 3ki plus 3ki. So I have k squared minus 9 times negative 1, because I squared is negative 1. So k squared plus 9, and we just leave our answer like that. Okay, and the last set of problems they asked for is to find the inverse of each function. So I think of this as a y, and then I switch the x and y. So I have x equals 5y minus 7. And now it's just an 8th grade solve for y. Add 7 to both sides. X plus 7 equals 5y. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So I got x minus 7 over 5 equals y, or the correct way to write this would be f negative 1 of x equals x minus 7 over 5. And that would be the answer to that one. The next one, similar. We think of this as a y and then switch the x and a y. So I have x equals y plus 3 over 4 to solve for y. My first step is going to be to multiply both sides times 4. So I have 4x equals y plus 3, because these guys cancel. And now I subtract 3 from both sides. And I have 4x minus 3 equals y. In the correct notation, we'd write f negative 1 of x equals 4x minus 3. And that's it for the homework. So we should know how to do all those problems fairly well.